My family disowned me over my sister's program. So I severed their $1 million support. I never imagined I'd be sharing this on Reddit. But after the chaos that unfolded 8 months ago, I need to unburden myself. My friend Cassian, who's been by my side through thick and thin, convinced me to post this, calling it the ultimate family revenge saga. Strap in, this is a wild ride. I'm a 32-year-old guy who runs a mid-sized construction firm specializing in commercial projects. 7 years ago, I started with just a truck and a dream. Now I employ 52 people, and last year we grossed $14.2 million. I'm not here to boast, just setting the stage for why my family saw me as their personal cash machine. My family dynamics have always been messy, and looking back, they were downright dysfunctional. My dad, Rick, 58, owns a struggling concrete supply company. He's stuck in his ways, refusing to embrace modern technology or adapt to industry shifts, which has kept his business on life support. My mom, Carol, 55, operates a high-end real estate agency with all the trappings, marble desks, pricey artwork. But it barely breaks even due to her obsession with appearances over profits. My sister, Serena, 28, is a self-proclaimed Instagram influencer and entrepreneur who's never earned an honest buck. Her career consists of posting aesthetic coffee shots and designer bags while recycling motivational quotes she finds online. When my business started booming 5 years ago, I became the family's go-to for financial help. Dad needed new equipment, I'd co-sign loans. Mom's agency hit a rough patch. I'd transfer $50,000 without a second thought. Serena wanted to launch her luxury lifestyle brand. Here's $75,000 to kick things off. My business partner, Cassian, would razz me about it during our morning meetings, saying, "Man, you're running a family charity." He'd ask when they last thanked me, and honestly, I couldn't recall. What they didn't realize was that I wasn't just helping out occasionally. I was the financial foundation propping up their entire lives, like an unseen scaffold they took for granted. Dad's business ran on my company's credit lines because his own credit tanked after some shady tax moves in 2018 involving unreported cash deals. Mom's agency paid its rent through automatic transfers from my business account, which she thought came from some fictional family trust set up by our grandfather. Serena's lavish lifestyle, her downtown loft, white BMW, endless designer gear, was funded by what she believed was a family investment account, but was actually me sending her $4,500 monthly like clockwork. 3 weeks ago, everything changed. Serena called me on a Tuesday, skipping pleasantries and diving straight into, "Dorian, I need you to cover something critical." She'd been accepted into an elite business mentorship program in Los Angeles, costing $85,000 for 6 months of networking and mindset coaching. Problem was, my company was in the middle of a massive expansion, our biggest yet, pivotal for the next decade. I just hired 15 new staff, including project managers and site supervisors, and we were financing $200,000 in new equipment, excavators, mixers, and specialized machinery to tackle larger projects. Cash flow was tight, not because we weren't profitable, but because every dollar was invested in growth that could double our revenue in 2 years. For the first time, I said no. "Serena, I can't afford that right now. The business is stretched with payroll and expansion. Maybe we can revisit this later." The silence was deafening. Then she erupted. "Are you kidding me? After all this family has done for you?" I thought, what exactly have they done? Before I could respond, she hit me with, "Success has made you greedy, Dorian. Don't call me until you remember what family means." She hung up. That was Tuesday. By Thursday night, I was unwinding with my wife, Isolde, after a grueling 14-hour day across 3 job sites when my phone pinged. A text from Dad. "You're no longer my son. Don't contact us." I stared at it for 20 minutes, stunned. I called Cassian and read him the message. "Over $85,000, are they serious?" he said, incredulous. Friday morning, an envelope slid under my door, no return address, just my name in Mom's handwriting. Inside, a single note. "You're not welcome at family gatherings. Stay away from the house." Cassian came over, found me staring at the note, and said, "Bro, they just picked a fight with the wrong guy." He's been my best friend since we were 14, working summer construction gigs together. When I started my company, he was my first call. His knack for cutting through nonsense and finding humor in chaos is why we're such good partners. "All right," Cassian said, setting up his laptop at my kitchen table that evening. "Let's break this down. How much have you actually given them?" I opened my accounting software and we dug into the numbers. They were staggering, even to me. Dad's business, $340,000 in loan guarantees, plus $180,000 in unrepaid cash loans. Mom's agency, $290,000 over 3 years for cash flow support. Serena's lifestyle, $216,000 in direct transfers, plus $2,800 monthly rent and $830 monthly car payments for 2 years. Good Lord, Dorian, Cassian said, nearly spitting out his coffee. That's almost $1 million, and they cut you off over $85,000. Cassian's real genius shone through here. They don't even know how their finances work, do they? Serena probably thinks her rent pays itself. He was spot on. They never asked where the money came from, they just assumed it magically appeared. So, what's the move? He asked. I want them to see what not my son really means, I said. Cassian grinned. Let's do this smart, no rash moves, just cold, calculated business. Saturday morning, Cassian arrived with coffee and a legal pad. Time for a reality check, but first, we cover your bases legally. We spent the weekend mapping every financial tie I had with my family, and it was like uncovering a hidden labyrinth. Dad's business wasn't just getting occasional help. It was a de facto subsidiary of my company, relying on my credit lines because his was shot. His trucks, equipment leases, and even employee health insurance were subsidized through my business. Mom's agency lease was guaranteed by me, and her website, licensing fees, marketing, and fancy furniture were all paid through my accounts, which she thought came from that non-existent trust fund. Serena was the worst. Her rent, car, credit cards listed as consulting expenses for my company, health insurance, phone, gym, groceries, clothing allowances, even her makeup and wine subscriptions, all funneled through my business like she was a dependent child, not a 28-year-old adult. Dude, Cassian said, reviewing our notes, you didn't just help them, you adopted 3 financially reckless adults. By Sunday, we had a plan, Operation Reality Check. They want to disown you, fine, Cassian said. But they don't get to keep the perks while treating you like trash. Time to cut every cord. Monday morning, we set up in my home office with laptops, coffee, and Cassian's productivity playlist of business podcasts. Let's start simple and build to the big guns, he said. First call. My insurance agent, removing Dad's trucks from our fleet coverage. Next, I terminated his access to my commercial credit line. How long till he notices? Cassian asked. Probably when he tries ordering materials tomorrow. Mom's situation was next. I canceled my guarantee on her office lease and stopped all automatic transfers to her accounts. She'll freak when the rent notice hits, Cassian said, satisfied. Serena's setup was the most tangled. Car, rent, insurance, phone, gym, groceries, credit cards, Dorian, you were basically her sponsor, Cassian said. I canceled everything, car payments, insurance, phone plan, even her streaming subscriptions tied to my accounts. By noon, we dismantled my financial support for their lives, but Cassian wasn't done. Time for the big one, he said. The business connections. They didn't know Dad's company was structured as a subsidiary of mine for tax purposes. Mom's agency operated under my business license, and Serena's brand was just a DBA under my company. If they don't want you as family, they lose the business perks too, Cassian said. I called my attorney to dissolve all shared business entities. By Wednesday, they'd be fully independent with no ties to my company. Cassian's masterstroke was the house. My parents' suburban home bought 5 years ago was co-signed by me because their credit couldn't secure the loan. I owned 50% equity. You could force a partition sale, Cassian said. Make them buy you out or sell the house. That felt extreme, but they'd declared me persona non grata. I contacted my attorney to demand my equity stake, which could force a sale if they couldn't agree on terms. By Wednesday, their financial world was crumbling and they were clueless about the storm coming. The best part, Cassian said, they'll blame each other first. Serena will think Dad stopped her payments. Dad will think Mom screwed up the accounts. It'll be pandemonium. Thursday at 6:47 a.m., my phone exploded with calls from Serena, Dad, and Mom. Serena texted at 7:23. My car was repossessed. What did you do? Cassian, already at my office with breakfast sandwiches, laughed. She thinks it's your fault. Technically, it is you stopped paying. By 8 a.m., the calls were relentless. I put Dad on speaker. Dorian, the lumber supplier, says our credit's cut off. They won't deliver for the Morrison job. I let him ramble for 30 seconds before hanging up. Stone cold, Cassian said, impressed. Mom called next. Dorian, there's a mix-up with the office rent. The manager says I'm behind, but that's impossible. Click. You're getting good at this, Cassian noted. Serena's call was pure theater, sobbing about her landlord threatening eviction and her cards not working. Serena, I said, you called me selfish and told me not to call back. I'm just following your orders, she wailed. That's not what I meant. It's exactly what you meant, I replied. You and Dad made it clear I'm not family, so I'm acting like it. Cassian gave me thumbs up the whole time. By 10 a.m., my attorney called. Your father demanded I stop all legal actions. I laughed. What you say? I told him I don't take orders from non-clients. Cassian nearly choked. Your lawyer's a beast. At noon, Mom showed up at my office, a first in 7 years. My assistant called. A woman claiming to be your mom is here. She's upset. Tell her I'm unavailable and she needs an appointment. If it's an emergency, remind her I'm not family. Cassian was loving it. You're ice cold, man. The highlight was Serena showing up at my house at 2 p.m. with suitcases, crying. They evicted me. I have nowhere to go. Hotels exist, I said. I can't afford one. Then ask your family for help. You are my family, not according to Dad's text. Cassian, watching from the window, was trying not to crack up. That evening, all three showed up, Dad holding a wine bottle like it was a casual visit. Son, I'm not your son, remember? We need to talk business. There's no business to discuss, just you facing the consequences of your choices. Cassian opened the door. Dorian's busy, but I'll take a message. Their faces were priceless. By Friday, they were in full crisis mode. Cassian showed me Serena's Instagram, where she'd posted a sob story about family betrayal. The comments were savage. Maybe get a real job instead of posting selfies. At 9 a.m., Dad called, his tone desperate. Dorian, there's a misunderstanding. No misunderstanding, I said. You said I'm not your son. I'm respecting that. He stammered. I was angry. No, Dad, those were deliberate choices, not anger. Mom called at 11 a.m., crying. The office lease is in default. I could lose everything. That's a tough business problem, I said. You funded my life's work for years. Exactly, Mom, and now you'll see if it can stand on its own. Serena called at 2 p.m., hysterical. I'm in a Motel 6. This is humiliating. You're 28, Serena. Not being able to afford housing isn't my issue. I'm an influencer. How much does that pay? Silence. Cassian whispered, ask her hourly rate. I did, more silence. That evening they showed up again looking broken. Dad started. We're sorry, Dorian, we want to make this right. What's right look like? I asked. Mom said, we want you back in the family. What's changed since Tuesday? I pressed. Silence. Cassian jumped in. What's changed is you're feeling the pinch of losing your cash cow. They protested, but it was clear. They weren't sorry for their actions, just the fallout. After they left, Cassian asked, what's next? I let them learn what family means without money, I said. At a friend's barbecue that weekend, Serena called, begging for help with a $15,000 loan she couldn't repay. I put her on speaker. You're not my family per Dad's text. Cassian asked her my birthday, my wife's name, and my company's name. She couldn't answer. You don't know me, I said. You just know my bank account. She hung up. Sunday, Dad left a frantic voicemail about a contract falling through and potential lawsuits. That's your business problem, I told him. You disowned me, why would I care? Mom visited alone that afternoon, looking worn. Your father's pride is ruining us, she said. No, Mom, you all chose this. She admitted they never taught Serena life skills. Then it's time she learns, I said. 3 weeks later, Serena came to my office unrecognizable, no makeup, messy ponytail, plain clothes. I got a job, she said. Entry-level at a marketing firm. She apologized for treating me like a bank, admitting she didn't even know my birthday. I've been in therapy, she said. I'm starting to get it. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.